Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we've got the Elite Series 117 Rhea Ripley in the house. I'm going to turn the music down just a tad bit there just to make sure you guys can hear me. But I am super excited to get into this action figure review. Realistically, when aren't I excited to get into an action figure review? But that's not the question. The question is what figgy in that line would you want to get? Of course, I just got the Chase Axiom not all that long ago. Decided to test my luck with the Rhea Ripley. Maybe I'll grab the Grayson Waller. I don't know if I'll grab the rest in this set, as I would love the set, but the set, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe if I had it in hand, I'd completely and absolutely love it, but meh, enough said, as we don't have the Seth freaking Rollins here. We've got the Rhea Ripley up in this, so why don't we break Rhea Ripley up out of her plastic prison now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys. Now that we've got the Rhea Ripley all out of the plastic prison, we can get into this action figure, and well, first and foremost, her accessories. As you can see, she comes with two different sets of hands, a set of fist hands already pre-built into the figure, and then two different sets, two mic holding hands. Of course, a little bit unique for each one, as you do get the hand tattoos here. You even got the little one right there on her thumb that I never knew she had, because let's be honest, it's not like I'm staring at people's tattoos all day. But, you know, it's nice to see that even Mattel is slowly starting to add in tattoo decals that are small and nifty like that. But of course, the main accessory here, the nice jacket. I want to say this is from when they went to Australia a few years back. I say a few years because it could have been like two, maybe. Maybe it was just about a year ago. I don't know, but I'm definitely digging this, especially compared to a lot of rubber jackets out there. It's nice, it's short, it's sleeveless. If you're going to give us hard plastic accessories like this is definitely the way to go. I'm loving the nice decals and textures all throughout this thing. You've got Ripley on the back with the Australian flag. Got the nice chain decals which are molded in there. You've got little like spiky feelings all around the jacket, or well, not spiky, but like bumpy feelings to like mimic the studs or spikes. Man, honestly, this is a pretty nice quality rubber accessory, or hard plastic, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know. I don't even know what I want to call it at the end of the day. But it doesn't matter now, as we can now get into this Rhea Ripley figure. My second ever Rhea Ripley. I don't know how many elites she's had technically so far. I know there's the one look when she had the really like short blonde hair. You've got her Judgment Day looks, and this is probably her closest look to a normal singles run, I want to say, with the Elite line that doesn't, you know, go all the way back to NXT. So that's always a nice touch for these kind of figures, getting a nice just look around at the attire and all the tattoo work. This Rhea Ripley definitely stands out, especially with this brand new head scan. You've got the nice eye makeup, you've got the smile there with the lipstick, nice white teeth, as you can also see if you look hard enough and my camera focuses well enough. You might be able to see right there in her nose, she's also got her 3 piercings, which is a nice little touch. I remember when CM Punk had the lip piercing, they always used to sculpt that in there. Whether they always painted it or not, I can't remember, but it's a nice decal, a nice detail to see stuff like that in action figures, you know? Of course, another nice little detail is the mommy choker right there. Nice, just little black choker, silver wording, you know? Nothing too out there, but something really nice speaking of something really nice, is all the sculpting all the sculpting details. I don't know why I can't fucking say details today. On this Rhea Ripley upper half, you've got all these nice little studs and all the like little. I'm assuming it's belts that are on the studs. Of course, I don't know. I'm not the one who was wearing the fucking attire. But you also can see her sternum tattoo that leads all the way up into the upper half of her torso. Along with that, you've also got stud work here that's sculpted on as well on the upper half of the top, along with some paint blemishes on the one side over here. To be honest, it doesn't really bug me all that much. It is still gonna cost a point to the figure, because at the end of the day we want perfect figures, you know what I mean, if we're gonna be scaling them high on the 1 to 10 scale. But honestly, I think it adds like a nice little layer of detail that wasn't there originally. Got a couple of little wannabe studs there, those are painted on. Same thing with the one out, over here on the back end of the attire. Got some nice little, I don't know what the fuck they call these things, thigh cuffs? What the fuck are these things? Belts for your thighs? Anyway, I don't fucking know, but at the end of the day, nice little detail. They're also not sculpted onto the leg, but it's its own separate sculpt. I love the nice silver detailing in that, along with all the tattoo work appearing underneath the fishnets here. Always a nice job when Mattel can do this, especially for the women's figures, because, you know, let's be honest, up until recently, a lot of these women's figures were not really hitting all that well. And I can actually show you the old Rhea Ripley in comparison as to why I feel that way. But you've also got all this nice tattoo work on the upper half before we get into the boots and stuff. I'd say this has just about every up-to-date tattoo that Rhea Ripley may have, except for maybe a few. But yeah, you know, getting into the lower half, which is what I'm really excited for to talk about. No Diddy, as I kind of thought about that in my head. Well, I mean, would it really be Diddy? Because if it were a real-life female, it wouldn't really make me gay, I guess. But that's talk for a different time, I guess you could say. But the lower half of this figure is really neat, as of course you've got the black thigh-like socks here, but the boots are actually like a Mattel Elite boot. There's no basic boot rotation here, even though it kind of looks like it, but that's just kind of the way that boot looks. I'm sure if I flip it over to that one, yeah, I don't know why this one almost kind of looks like it was meant to have a peg piece there in the ankle, but yeah, no, the ankles move really well. Of course, it's not on the modern day Mattel style of boots where you can rotate the ankle all the way to the back and have it wave at you. These ones sadly are the retro style of Mattel ankles, so they just do the nice bend, and they do at least have a nice little ankle rock there. Plus, for those of you who may have been wondering, she has Ultimate Edition toe articulation. I don't know if that's something they're like slowly working into the line, or if any figure that's gotten an Ultimate Edition for the most part just, well, you know, have toe articulation, because the Usos have it. This figure has it. I'm trying to think of any other possible action figure that has Ultimate Edition toe articulation that is just a standard Elite, because honestly, off the top of my head, I can't really think of too many other figures that have that uniqueness in their formula, because for a set standard Elite, I don't expect that when I'm paying the $25 price range that I tend to pay for Elites. And I say it like that because, of course, if you shop in the aftermarket, the prices may vary, but here's one thing I also really wanted to show off here is how buttery smooth these knees are for being pinless knees. Just, my God, what an immaculate figure this is. I really don't have many complaints. But speaking of many complaints, why don't we compare this to some of the other women's action figures I have, and we can kind of see what I mean when it comes to the ankle articulation maybe, and just kind of get a little bit of comparisons in now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, just so you can have a little bit of an action figure comparison, I grabbed quite a few of my women's figures. I don't have the biggest women's collection, let's be honest, but if anything, I just kind of more or less recently started collecting the women's figures, and that's because there's always been this underlining issue, as an example with Bailey here, where you can see that peg clearly in that fucking ankle now. Come on, don't tell me you don't. But that ankle is a basic boot, which then makes it so this figure does not articulate as well as, say, as long as, she doesn't fucking fall over. Fucking Bailey. But as well as a Liv Morgan ankle, because, if I can get my fucking camera to focus, Liv Morgan's got ankle rock, which means she's on a women's elite boot mold, which is, probably because she's got a unique boot mold. And same thing with Roxanne Perez here, as she does not have a basic boot mold, probably because she has a unique boot mold. But neither is this, a unique boot mold. Fuck, I guess I kind of defeated my argument here. But, all these women's figures that I do have displayed in the ring right now, other than the Bailey, have elite boot articulation, which is what I try to look out for when I'm buying these women's figures. I don't want to spend $25 and technically get a little bit less quality than what I'm paying for that $25. And in my opinion, giving me basic boots is exactly doing that. So I can't always agree with buying women's figures. Sometimes I justify it, sometimes I don't. Like with the Bailey, I justified it because I never had a Bailey figure before, and I do like the more recent damage control look that she had. And honestly, her look nowadays is still pretty decent too, so can't complain. If anything, I just didn't really always like Bailey, especially when she was in the hugger gimmick. The hugger gimmick was just not for me. But, we'll say her match with Sasha in that Iron Women's match back in NXT back in the day, that was always a banger match. Even though knowing I really didn't like either woman. So that's kind of always a fun little note to throw out there, because why the fuck not, I guess. Even though opinions are like assholes, sometimes you don't always have to flaunt them. Anywho, I digress. That all aside, why do I have the Kyrie out here? Well, the Kyrie was released a few waves ago, I'm sure you guys might remember me reviewing this figure. But she has the modern day ankle rotation that I was talking about when it comes to these figures. If my fucking camera would focus, for the love and... Anyway, let me not geek the hell out or crash the hell out here on camera about my fucking thing not focusing. Especially one of the very few times I'm actually trying to do an action figure comparison. There we go. Thank you, Kyrie, for standing. But yeah, anywho, I guess on that note, before you guys genuinely see me crash out, why don't we finish the story now, shall we? Well, alrighty, you guys, now that we're ready to finish the story, I guess you could say, or in lighter terms, get her into the final pose, and we can get into our final thoughts in the 1 to 10 rating, or also the Dave Meltzer star rating, whichever one you guys like more. I don't know, it beats me. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, this Rhea Ripley is honestly a pretty damn good figure. I know I did miss out on the white geared elite with the Dom Dom written on her butt cheeks. But to be honest with you, I think I am happy I held off on that one and waited to get this one, which is kind of an odd thing to say in my opinion, because I love all white gears, especially like the Seth Rollins 2014 all white SummerSlam gear. That gear was like unmatched in my opinion, the nice white and gold. You had her all white gear with the little bits of purple in it. I'm trying to think of other people who have had all white gear recently. I know it wasn't all white, but Roman Reigns wore a mixture of black and white not too long ago. Always loved the look that he did back in the day with the shield, the big dog Roman vest where he had the white logo on the vest, the white soles on his boots, and I could have swore he had at least a little bit of white trim on his gauntlets, but maybe that was also just me. I don't know, Roman's gears were always a little interesting throughout the years. Despite always looking so similar, they always at least had that uniqueness when it came to the vest. Speaking of uniqueness, this figure on the 1 to 10 ranking is still going to be going fairly high, especially knowing that the uniqueness in this figure, she's got that ultimate toe articulation. That's definitely going to get mean for sure, I bet you. But at the end of the day, this figure, it's just really phenomenal. I don't have all that much to say that's bad about it other than the little misprint decal on the upper part of her top. That's it. That's my only issue with this figure. Her knees are nice, her boots move, her ankles move, her legs move, her arms move. Everything moves really, really well despite me not showing it on camera. Of course, I don't think I really went over articulation with this figure, but it does move really buttery smooth. After all, I was able to get her in the seated position with Liv Morgan getting ready to hit the Riptide from the second rope, or also known as, and as I like to call it in the pig fed, Brett's rope. Anywho though, on the scale of 1 to 10, what would I rank this figure on a scale of 1 to 10? Honestly, I'm definitely still ranking this high, but it may not be as high as you think. I don't know. After all, this is just my opinion, but I'm going to have to give this figure a good solid... Honestly, I'm going to give her a good solid 8.5 out of 10. The decal, positioning, I guess, was a little messed up here on the upper half. You can see it, bleeding out onto the rest of the top there. And then, honestly, my only other issue is that, honestly, we could have gotten just about any other gear, really. Not complaining about the gear, but I personally can say I know there's at least a few other Rhea Ripley attires I would love to get out there in action figure form. I know this one's a little bit more recent, but her recent Mania gear with the... what was it, the Joker Who Laughs Last, that was a pretty damn good gear, even though I think her makeup was a little too off compared to her skin tone, but maybe that was done on purpose to fit the look. That's probably exactly what it was, and I just had a little bit of a bias-y towards it because I just didn't think about it like that. After all, I'm not a female. I do not put makeup on, and I know guys do wear makeup too. It is 2025. I am just not that guy. Anyway, when it comes down to it, though, honestly, there's just a lot of gears. There really is. Honestly, her most recent gear she wore this past Monday, that nice all-purple gear. She just has so many nice gears out there. This is probably one of the more blandish attires, you could say. But nonetheless, still really enjoyable, hence why she's still getting that half a point on the 8 there. I know I could have realistically just given this figure a 9 and called it a day, but I think the 8.5 on the gear choice also kind of suits this well. But with that being said, what would I rank this figure on the Dave Meltzer star rating? The 1 to Young Buck match scale. Honestly, I'm gonna have to give this female's figure, what was it? A good 4, well, we'll say 4.5 out of 5 stars. Cutting pretty close to damn near perfect, because I really don't want to make the gear that big of an issue. So I'm not going to, but honestly, on that note, with how long this video already has been, I'm not going to try to ramble on too much more. So honestly, if you guys liked the video, feel free to like the video. If you guys didn't like the video, well, womp womp, I guess. But if you guys did like the video and you guys would like to, feel free to go check out some of my other action figure content. We've got plenty of stuff ranging from action figure reviews. We've got stuff to do with the pick fed up on here. Pretty much everything from start to current day, which happy to see that we're almost hitting 200 views on the most recent episode. Well, not episode, most recent part to the UK tour. We've got, as I said, plenty of reviews to go through, man. Like, we really be reviewing figures on here. But we also do unboxings and plenty of other things that you may or may not be aware of. And I say it like that because I do have a video somewheres up on here. If we can fucking find it. Let's see. Can I find it? Oh, there we go. Here's one in particular that I would like to point out. We've got how to fix modern WWE legs. For those of you who have not been fully aware on how to fix your modern WWE legs, that video is a pretty nice step-by-step guide in my opinion, just because it'll fix your legs and it'll also teach you something about the newer formulas that you may not know about. So, highly recommend going and checking out that little quick video there if you guys have not yet already. I know plenty of you guys have. How more people have checked out that video than that are subscribed. Of course I would butcher that when I go to talk about subscribing. Fuck me. But if you guys would like to, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe, and I'm sure a good chunk of the people who watch this channel are not yet subscribed. So what are you waiting for? Feel free to do it. Like I said, it is free after all. And I'm not going to hold you at gunpoint. Yeah, I may get a little sad if you do unsubscribe, because we are on the big road to 400 subscribers right now, almost at 500, which is something I never thought possible. So I appreciate everybody who does sub. And speaking of that, on our road to 400, we are currently sitting at 377 subs. A nice number that I've been kind of teeter-tottering on the past few days. So maybe this video will help me get more subs in on the channel. Speaking of anything channel related, if you guys aren't aware of, I do have an Instagram. So, maybe feel free to go follow me on Instagram. It won't be posted in full on here, but there is something coming to the Instagram that has already been started on the upload. I am a part of a joint show named Wrestle Dynasty. It is me and I want to say 6 other creators now. Please don't ask me exactly the names of each and every person's fed, because I'm not gonna lie, I do not fucking remember. But that's because I am old, I'm tired, and I work with fucking children. Anyways, not to reference CM Punk, but let's be honest, my job sucks. And that's probably why I can barely ever remember half of the shit that I don't remember. But womp womp, I guess. If you guys do follow me on there, feel free to go check that out. Super exciting show so far. We've got 3 matches out for the viewing pleasure. Still 3 more to go, including my match, which will be the spectacle of Kenny Omega versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton, someone who you may have thought was injured watching the most recent episode of the Pick Fed, at least Chaos Theory-wise, not UK Tour-wise. But I guess when the payday calls, Randy is coming. Anyway, not that I'm hinting that he's only in it for the money, but you never know when it comes to me and my Fed, because I'm a fucking nutcase. Anyway, I think on that note, we can head out of here now. I've made this video plentiful long. So again, either way, just thank you guys for liking, subbing, doing whatever, just even checking out the video for a good simple 2 out of this 25-minute journey. Thank you guys for even giving me just a little glimpse of your time. And on that note, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone, and honestly, let's not even ask the question if I would like it or not, because I probably fucking wouldn't. I can be a miserable person sometimes. Anyway, that's fine. But on that note, deuces, ooses, yeet.